Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of CAPI Live. I'm going to have to turn that down. I was going to keep doing that, and I can't turn it off. There, should do it. Okay. Sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of setup problems. Y'all let me know you're in here whenever you come in, just by saying hi, if you would, please. We can get started with the show. Hope everybody had a great weekend, a great week. Have a really cool show tonight. I'm really amped up about the show tonight. It's going to be a lot of information and a lot of fun. Get my notes picked up and set up. Do we have anything else that we can set right here? Can you get my pillows? Both my pillows? Oh, finally we got some people coming in. Hey, John. Hey, Cora. Hey, Stovepipe. Thank you. Set my notes on. There we go. Perfect. And would you do me one more favor and would you go out and shoot that dog?
Well, I can go out there and quiet them down, but it's going to get loud for a few minutes. Because when I go out there,
we'll let everybody get on and then we'll get started. John, if you'll go share and invite Lisa. Thank you. Yes, please like and share the stream if you would. My counter is going crazy again. It's going down to 1 and then it went up to 4 and then it went down to 2 and now it's at 1 and now 2. So I don't know who else here. The 22 should be enough. It sounds like a small dog. Who is it? Pointing doesn't.
Bella.
Oh, Bella. No, she's not a small dog. She's a big dog. She's got a little bark. But it's an annoying bark. Small but annoying. So hopefully she'll chill out. She's one of our escape artists, and so we had to her and put her on a runner, and she's not close to her best friend. So that's why she's upset. So Paramama's going to fix that in just a little while, but it's going to get super noisy when she does. So we'll have to deal with that. But I hope everybody had a great week. You guys, please hit the like button and share the stream and let everybody know we're on. Share it on your social medias so everybody know we're on. We want a good audience tonight. It's going to be a really good show. While we're waiting, y'all know that we've been doing the series of how technology has changed, helped, and hindered the paranormal over the last 25 to 50 years. And last week we spoke about how the new items, the new different types of equipment is coming out. And tonight we're going to talk about how our own conception of the paranormal has changed along with that technology, because not only has equipment evolved, but also the understanding and the acceptance of the paranormal within the human race has evolved as well. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, John, please subscribe to the channel. Johnny and I will be getting CAPI tattoos at 3,000 subs. We're going to try and video Let's get into tattoos. Yep. John's talking about, you guys, if you hadn't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Not only subscribe to the channel, but get your friends and family to subscribe to the channel as well. Help us get that number up to 3,000. That's our next goal, is 3,000. Once we hit 3,000, there's still a standing agreement that John and I, the team manager and myself, will be getting this CAPI logo right here. This CAPI logo right here, tattooed on our bodies somewhere. And we're going to hopefully do a live of us receiving this tattoo as well. So, y'all, let's get it up to 3,000 so that y'all can enjoy our suffering. So definitely get us up there to 3,000. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell everybody you know that is into the paranormal and wants to learn about the real paranormal, and participate in investigations and stuff like that, to let us to subscribe to our channel so that we can get that number up to 3,000. And I'm not sure where we're at. Hey, Katie, where we're at now. John, if you're back, how many subs do we have? Can you look and see how many subs we have on YouTube? Hey, Margot. Everybody's starting to fall in line. We'll give it a few more minutes, and we'll start with our normal coming events and our prayer list and all of that.
2.17. 2.17.
2.17. Okay, so we have almost 2,200 now. So we have almost 2,200 subscribers now. It's 2,170 something. So we just need, 830 more people? All 2,000 of those people, 2,200, almost 2,200 people went and got one person to subscribe to the channel. Then we would be well over our 3,000 mark. So y'all do that, if you would. Everybody that's on this channel, that is a sub on this channel, get at least one person to subscribe to the channel for me so that we can hit that 3,000 mark. And then John and I will get tattoos. And then after the 3,000 mark will be 5,000. That will be our next goal. And we're going to do something big for 5,000. Every time we hit a goal, we're going to do something that much bigger. So the 5,000 mark is probably going to be something to do with an investigation, a big investigation. So y'all do that for us. We need to, this channel's been going for quite some time now. We've had a lot of success with it. We really, really appreciate everybody that joins us every week, and especially our usual suspects that join us every week. We love you guys so much, but we want to build the channel, so you guys do that for us. Get everybody on this channel that's on here right now, all 2,170 of you. Get at least one person to subscribe. You get as many people as you want to subscribe, but get at least one person to subscribe. And I mean, even if it's your spouse or your friend or your coworker or your husband or, well, spouse, husband or wife, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, I don't care who it is. Just get us up there to 3,000. They won't regret it, I promise you. And Margaret, can't wait until you and John get the forehead CAPI tattoos. Well, they're definitely not going to be on the forehead, and they're definitely not going to be tramp stamps. Sorry. There's more of that Iowan logic popping out of y'all, like pus out of a nose. So yeah, no, that's not happening. But we will get them tattooed. We will get this right here tattooed on our bodies live on the show, on CAPI Live. Once we hit 3,000. So y'all help us get that 3,000 mark, if you would. All right. So we have 6 people on right now. Let's start with our prayer request, and then we'll let people come in as we go. Continue. You know what? Instead of doing prayer requests first, we're going to do praise reports first. When we do prayer request, we're praying for someone to get some good news on their health, their finances, or whatever the case may be. And what we also like to do is we like to report to you guys whenever those prayers are making movements and what they're helping somebody. They're doing what we ask them to do, what we use our prayers for. And so we have a praise report, at least one praise report. And it's me. Yay. I requested prayer for my breathing and for my medication because it was so expensive. Was if in case there's anyone on here that doesn't know, that my medication was going to be over $3,000 a month. It's over almost $3,300 a month. Me and Paramount are not rich people. Okay, so we definitely could not afford that. So we were really worried about that because it was the thing that worked, that helped me breathe. And so, dear Lord, I wish they would stop. And so Paramama was able to go online, do some research, find the exact same, not a generic, but the exact same medication that costs $3,200 a month through our insurance. It ended up costing us $50 a month. So we went from $3,000, almost $3,300 to $50 a month. So that was the blessing there. Second part of the blessing of the praise report. Some good guard dogs over there. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's loud. I wished I could do something about it. It's loud. It's fixing to get really loud because Paramom's going to go try to fix the situation for us. But it's going to get loud when she goes out there because they love her so much. They go nuts when she comes around. So y'all be ready. It's going to get really loud for a few minutes. But then it'll get really quiet, hopefully. So, hey, Carter. Carter's with us tonight. Awesome. Second part of that praise report is I went and did the lung function test where they tested me for, I did the lung function test. I did blood test. They did chest x-rays. They did all kinds of stuff to me, wanting to find out what was going on. Blood work came back really good. Hey, Beth, there she is. My blood work came back extremely good. There was a slight elevation in cholesterol. And, Bernadine, are you ready for your quiz? But there was a slight elevation in my cholesterol count, but nothing to be super worried about. She just said I needed to watch it. Paramama's already done some research and found me some natural meds for that. My chest x-rays came back with 3 spots on my lungs. So I didn't report that to anybody. I didn't tell anybody because myself, Paramama, and the doctors were all thinking cancer. That's what we were basically thinking was going on, was cancer. We didn't tell anybody because we didn't want to alarm anybody until we knew. The spots turned out to be anomalies. My lungs are clear. My lungs are doing good for a 30 plus year smoker. They're doing really good. I do not have cancer. I do not have COPD. My lungs were great. All the testing and the lung function test was within the normal perimeters. So I've got a great report from the doctor on everything. She said, just keep taking my expensive medications. And she prescribed me a lot of other stuff too. But like I said, Paramama went out and found natural stuff. One of the things that she's prescribed for me was metformin. If anybody on here has ever had any dealings with metformin, you know that it is no joke. It's not a good pill to take. It's not very good at all. It has a lot of really bad side effects. It did not affect me very well either. I was having a lot of dizzy spells. I thought I was going to have to quit work because of it, but Paramama was able to go and find me an alternate, a natural alternate to that as well. So the doctor said, keep taking the medicine that your wife put you on, keep taking your trilogy, and everything's good. I've got to go back in a month and do a checkup just to make sure everything is still going the way it is. They do want me to go see a cardiologist just because of the dizziness and the breathing issues that I was having, but they just said they didn't expect anything to be wrong there either. They just wanted to make sure they covered all the bases. So thank you so much for the prayers. I promise you, every one of them were very much appreciated. I love you guys so much. I truly believe in the power of prayer. I'm here. Our co-founder is here because of prayer. Um, it's amazing what we can do with faith. And stay away from that crap. Metformin is awful. Yes, it is, Katie. And I'm so very glad and blessed that Paramama was able to find me an alternate to that. So I'm very, very happy that that was taken care of. So through the power of prayer and her doing research. All right, prayer request. Let's keep Ted, I believe his name is. That's Margot's dad. He's still battling cancer. Let's keep him in our prayers. Let's keep Scotty. That's Melissa and Scotty Coppett. Melissa is one of our CAPI family members. She's on here a lot sometimes. She used to be on a lot more, but now she's really, really busy with Scotty. But Scotty, I told you guys last week that he was diagnosed with cancer. We're keeping him in our prayers. He just had surgery to have it removed, the cancer cells removed. I know that the surgery went well, but I don't know what the outcome of removal was. We'll have to wait and find out that from Melissa. I'm going to try to contact her this coming week and figure out what's going on as far as the removal of the cancer. So let's keep them in our prayers as well. Let's keep John's family and John and his mom in our prayers as well. John, our team manager, his wife Michelle, her mom as well, in our prayers. Let's keep those prayers going as well. Beth, thank you, Beth. Beth's reminded me to pray for her friend Joe. Joe, you remember we prayed for Joe's husband not long ago. Joe's husband passed away, and now she's having a little bit of problems. So we want to keep her in our prayers as well. All right. CBD really is a great natural alternative for so many medical diagnoses. I don't take any CBD, but yes, I agree. CBD is great, but CBD doesn't really help me. I've tried it for different things, and it's just never really helped at all. But I do believe in CBD. I really do. But it's never really helped me. But I'm kind of weird. I messed my body up on a lot of different medications, especially pain medication. But I do support and believe in CBD religiously, but it doesn't work for me. But I've seen the effects. My wife suffers from fibromyalgia, and she takes CBD, and it helps her so much, so very much. The Haunt Crew. Hello, Haunt Crew. Who am I missing on prayers? John, Beth, anybody? I want to get moving tonight. Upcoming events, we're still going to do the CAPI camp in February. Still have not come up with a location, a venue for that yet. I'm kind of leaning towards Kaimoga. I think that's probably where we're going to go, is Kaimoga, just because I haven't been able to find another one in that area. So I think that's probably where we'll go, is Kaimoga. So we're looking, but I don't hold me to that because that might change. But we do have a CAPI camp coming up in February. So if you guys want to go to CAPI camp, y'all know how CAPI camp works. We go there, we do the class, we do the classroom portion, we do the hands-on training, we do the investigation training, and then we have a lot of fun, food, and fellowship. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, very inexpensive. We never make it to where anybody has to pay a lot of money to go to CAPI camp. But even if you can't pay the little bit of money that it usually costs, we'll still take care of you there too. So don't let that be an issue. Never don't come to CAPI camp because you don't have money, because we'll take care of that for you too. Okay. Please pray for my friend Renee. She lost both of her parents at the same time while holding hands from COVID. Man, you keep hearing about that. Yes, let's add Renee's, Katie's friend, too many names. Katie's friend Renee to our prayer list too. That is horrible, Katie. I'm so sorry, but you hear that so much about elderly couples dying, um, holding hands because of COVID and the flu and pneumonia and stuff. So yes, let's definitely keep Renee in our prayers too. Um, Praise, my mom is continuing to improve. Oh, here's a praise report from John. His mom is continuing to improve. Request she is having to get her drains put back in. Yes, the doctor removed John's mom's drains. Remember, that's what we prayed for about last time, is that her drains were messing up, but then they found out they weren't. But the doctor, um, nobody's perfect, guys. All right, don't fault doctors. Doctors are human. You know, they can make mistakes. Unfortunately, their mistakes can be catastrophic, but they're still human. But they took the drains a little premature. She still needed them, and they found that out after they took them. So now they got to put them back. So that's horrible for his mom. It really is. They have to go back through a procedure like that. But we're going to pray to the ultimate physician that goes well, and that she won't have any more issues from that. Bittersweet, Katie, you don't tell me that. Yes, definitely prayers for Renee and her family. Yes, thank you, Beth. The Davis family. Y'all know Michelle and Eric and their daughters. They're part of our team. They're investigators on our team. And Eric is our MacGyver. He's the guy that when we need stuff, he comes up with it. But they are moving from their current location to a bigger place. They just bought a new home. Um, I mean, a new home, a brand new home. They bought, and now they're clear a bunch of land. And there's a flashlight in my face. If y'all saw that flash, that was Paramama trying to get the dogs to be quiet. But they're going to start up any minute now, so y'all be ready. But she's doing a good job so far. But they're having to clear a bunch of land to get this new home put in, and it's. I just found out today that they're actually clearing the land themselves. I'm a little upset at them to tell us that, because we needed to be there with them. Our team doesn't watch families go through stuff like that. We go in and help when stuff like that happens. So I don't know. I'm gonna scold them a little bit for give them some love taps. Still love on them, but tell them don't never do that again, because they did not tell us. They didn't tell us that they didn't tell me. I didn't know that they were actually clearing this land by themselves. So I thought they were having it cleared. That's a lot of work, guys. That's a whole bunch of work. And Eric, of course, he told me today whenever I found out about it, I was like, why didn't you guys say something? I said, we need to get together and come help. But he said they're almost done. He took a weed eater and put a saw blade. I don't know how, but he put a saw blade on a weed eater, and he said, I'm almost done now. He's running through it like butter. So, and that's just Eric. Y'all just got to know him. He's amazing. He really is. And we love the Davises so much. They're an awesome family, and we're so happy to have them as part of our family and our team. So yeah, keep them in your prayers, because that's a lot of work, guys. They're hoping for, if I'm not mistaken, late November or mid to late December of being moved into their home. So hopefully after the first of the year, we can all have a big housewarming party out at their new place. She goes in tomorrow morning. Okay, John's mom is going in tomorrow morning. John, tell me your mom's first name, please. I keep forgetting it. And traveling prayers for Margot as she drives from Iowa to San Antonio this week, praying she has a safe and smooth drive. Was here for a week. Yeah. Yes, let's add Margot to our prayer list too. She is going to be spending Katie's birthday, which is also my birthday, in San Antonio with her friend Katie. So she's got to drive from Iowa to San Antonio, Texas. So that's a heck of a drive. So yes, prayers for Margot on a safe trip, and definitely prayers for Nathan whenever Margot gets there, because now he's pretty apt too about handling Katie, but now he's got to handle Katie and Margot for, I guess, a week or so. So yeah, let's pray for Nathan too. If you want to add your prayer request to the list, but don't want to share it here, email it to me. Yes, thank you, John. Thank you for saying that. Jenny, I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed that I had to ask that. I've met his mom. I've been face to face with her. He's told me her name a million times. I've heard that name so many times, but I keep forgetting it. I don't know why. I guess because I look at her and I see Smurfette. His mom, y'all, John's big. John's like what, 6'2", 6'3". He's way down in weight now, but he's still a big guy and he's big. His mom is super small, super small. I look at John and I'm like, you shouldn't have done that to that woman, because John's a big guy, but his mom was a little petite woman and she's just so cute, and adorable and precious. And her name is Jenny. I'm going to remember that from now on. I promise you. I'm going to scan it in my head. He's 6'3", yeah, and like 250 pounds. And his mom is like little bitty. She's almost a midget. She's really small. She's not quite that small, but she is really small. So tons of hugs coming Nathan's way. She used to be taller. She's shrinking. Hey, Corey. He can't wait. I'm feeling really sorry for Nathan right now. What he's going to have to deal with them two together. But all right. So that's the prayer request. That's the praise reports. Upcoming events out of the way. All right. So are we ready to get started? There's a gnat on my screen. It bugs me. Y'all can't see it, but it just bugs me. All right. Here's what we've been talking about. Well, we just started last week, talking about how technology. Oh, wait a minute. There's another upcoming event that I forgot to mention too. I want to keep two things that I always want to try to mention. We are still in the process of coming up with some information and some ideas on how to detect the presence of an entity. The co-founder, which actually he's here tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I just remember that. Just Corey is here tonight. He called me a few weeks ago and said, "Hey, let's talk about this," and we talked about it for a long time. And and I agreed with him that all the equipment that we have today in the paranormal, which is what we're talking about, is how technology and awareness has changed the paranormal over the past 50 years. But all of the equipment that we have and everything is designed to detect the results of the presence of an entity, of how they interact with their surroundings and us and our equipment, all that we have kind of, yeah, thank you, John. That was the other one. But all of that we have kind of wraps around knowing or detecting the presence of the results of having an entity close by or in the vicinity. We have nothing to detect the presence of an entity itself. And so that's what we've been trying to do. John and Eric have been bumping heads on that and trying to figure different things out. John, remind me, and also Eric, you guys remind me that I found a few research helps for you guys too on that I wanted to get with you guys on. But that's what we want to do. We want to develop something, or see if it's even possible to develop something that would detect the presence of an entity itself, not the effects of that entity, but the entity itself. And so all the equipment that we, like I said, have today shows us the aftermath or the conditions of having an entity in the vicinity. And so we want to be able to detect the entity itself, the effect an entity has on its environment. Yeah, that's what everything that we have does that. Thank you for helping me out on that. I couldn't get that out. But yeah, it does that. It detects that, the effect that the entity has on our environment, that we want to be able to detect the entity itself. So let's but we all want to kind of work on that. And you guys are more than welcome to shoot some ideas our way. Um, have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. All the help in the world would be great on that. So we're still going to be working on that as well. Also, the ongoing contest. The contest is still going. We're still wanting to get a winner on this. Right now, the prize for this ongoing contest is a T-shirt with your name, a snapback cap with the CAPI logo, a mug with the CAPI logo, and a $50 gift card. All right, those four things. You get a snapback, a mug, a snapback or a T-shirt, a snapback hat, a mug, and a $50 gift card to whoever comes up. And anybody can do this, even team members. Usually, I don't let team members participate in the contest, but because nobody knows this but me and Paramama, we want to include everybody. So everybody's included in it. The contest is as follows. The code 16 space. I gave you that hint last week. I thought someone would get it this week because of me giving that code or giving that spaces, but 16 space PPI space 1. 16 PPI 1. 16 PPI 1, or should I say 16 PPI 1. 16 PPI 1. It's something that I've talked about on the show in depth. It's something that I talk about during the class. I think it's even been a portion of this has even been a trivia question that we've done on the show as well. So somebody figure that out. 16 PPI 1. Whenever someone figures out what that code stands for, they'll win the T-shirt with your name. It'll be this T-shirt here with a CAPI on it, and then some Alabama Paranormal Investigations on the back. And then, of course, it'll have your name. This T-shirt that I'm wearing right now doesn't have my name. I have another one. I have a polo that has my name, but this one doesn't have my name, but it'll have your name on it. You'll also get a mug with this logo, a snapback cap with this logo, and a $50 gift card. So $50 gift card could really help out for Christmas. So you guys get that in. All right. It's in my class notes. I just don't know where those notes are. Corey, what's the answer? It's driving all of us crazy. Corey doesn't even know either, but he can participate. Somebody will get it. I really thought that someone would get it when I said the 16 space PPI space 1. But I'm still sure that someone will get it. I have another clue that I'm going to give next month. I've thought of another clue, and I wasn't going to give any clues because to me it was really easy. But of course, to me it's easy because I came up with it. But so I will give another. If it hasn't been solved by next month, I'll give another clue. I'll give another clue every month until someone finally gets it. All right. Any questions on any of that? Got CAPI Camp coming in February. And get the someone figure out the 16 PPI 1. Why would we want to have your name on a CAPI shirt? Won't have my name on it. Have your name on it. It's smarty. Yeah, it'll have whoever wins name on there, not my name. I was just saying this one doesn't have my name, but I have another shirt that does. But whoever wins will get a shirt like this, a T-shirt, either long sleeve or short sleeve, whatever they want, with their name on it. Then their name will be right here, and they'll have CAPI over here. Their first name will be right here. All right. I didn't specify that, y'all. That's why John asked that. I thought he was being a smart aleck, which he kind of was being a smart aleck, but what he was really doing is saying you didn't make that clear. He does that to me all the time. He has these little subtle ways of correcting me, and I love it so much because that's just the kind of guy he is. His name is Norman Bates. It's just the kind of guy he is. I want best name and autograph on my shirt. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. The team could autograph a shirt too, if y'all want. If part of me is smart, it's my ass. That's what I always say. If any part of me is smart, it's my ass. All right. So now let's get into this. We talked about different pieces of equipment last week, and how the evolution of that equipment has uh, affected in a good way, or negatively or positively, um, the paranormal over the last 50 years, how it has evolved closer to the research field. Like I said before, people have asked me all the time what is different now than what was different 25, 30, 40, 50 years ago that makes the paranormal. Why is it so much more active now? I say it's not really that more active. Just the technology is starting to catch up with the field. We're starting to get there. We're not where we want to be because we don't have that piece of equipment that will detect an entity, right? But we are. Um, our equipment has evolved, from a camera that we used to have to hold up on our shoulders like this and look like a television camera, like a news crew camera that was huge with a big lens like this. We had that, and then we went down to one that we could just hold in one hand. Or actually, we had one that we could hold with two hands. There was a little gear on it. You had a little thing up here where you could do the controls with these fingers, and you had a little grip right here. And then it went down to one you could hold in your hand, and now it's gone down to the size of a pin. So I mean, cameras have definitely evolved. Digital recorders have definitely evolved. What I want to do is I want to look at some stuff um, that we didn't look at last time. I want to look at some stuff that has evolved, arguably, but has actually kind of negative, had to put a negative vibe on the paranormal as well. Y'all knew that I told you I was going to be talking about the spirit box. And when I talk about the spirit box, then I'm not going to talk about it right now because we're going to do it. We'll do that last because I have an audio that I want you guys to listen to and tell me what it is and everything. And then I'm going to tell you, you'll see. But there is a such thing as audio pareidolia. We know there's visual pareidolia, where people see the Madonna in a grilled cheese, or Mother Teresa in a cinnamon bun. Those are documented cases where people have actually seen this stuff. Or Jesus's face in a hospital room door, implanted on a hospital room door. I've actually seen that door and I've seen the thing, but it's pareidolia. And also with us as we investigate, everyone that's investigated, pretty much everyone on my team I know has seen something in a photograph, and they're like, "Oh my God, it looks like someone's looking at us." And then you look at it, and it's pareidolia. But there's also a such thing as audio pareidolia, and that's where the spirit box comes in. And we're going to touch on that too. But I want to look at a couple other things that, like bad audio recorders that do compressed recordings, like the MP3s, that gives you more space but less quality. And I'm sorry, it's the biblical name for a donkey. No cussing. Let me catch up so I'm not so far behind. Just Beth's name. Thank you very much. Oh, just Beth's name. Okay, well, Katie is out of the contest. You can't win now. You wouldn't win anyway, so I don't care. You can have just Beth's name. There's no way you'll figure that out. John, this is a family show. No cussing. Geez, love you too, Beth. Or Katie. It's the biblical name for a donkey. Had to step away. What is Katie asking me about? Dum-dee-dum-dum. Oh, she's asking you about the 16 PPI1, the contest that we're having going, that it's been ongoing for a while right now. I don't know if you know about it or not, but the contest is 16 PPI1. That's a code that describes something. You have to tell me what it describes. It's something that's been talked about on the show. It gets talked about during the class. It's something very that's out there with us. So the faces, that reflection in that picture from the Archer investigation. Yeah, right, John. That's a very good example. this time it's okay. But yeah, that's what she was saying was the ongoing contest that we've had been going for a while now. It's 1/6 PPI 1. Whoever figures it out wins. T-shirt, snapback cap, mug, and $50 gift card. If anybody figures it out. All right. Phone apps. Y'all know my opinion on phone apps, right? You get, what is it? Ghost radar, voices. There's even one now that's ghost farts. You can detect the ghost by the ghost farting. I don't know why a ghost would have to fart because they don't have a body. But yeah, it's crazy. But all of it, all those apps equal nothing but cash. And people say, well, they're not in it for the money because they don't get paid because the apps are free. Yeah, but those advertisements on those apps are not free. That's how the companies make money on any game out there, not just ghost apps, but any game out there that you download for free. They get to sell two things. They get to sell advertising space and they get to sell your information. So yeah, don't say it's free. And also, and I'm going to get a lot of slaps for this one. I'm going to get a lot of eyebrow raising on this one. But this is a piece of equipment that is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They want your info. Yep. But this is a piece of equipment that is very well used. We use it. Pretty much everybody in the paranormal today uses it. Unless they're just starting out and haven't received it yet. But it is the K2 meter. How does that hurt the paranormal? The K2 meter doesn't exactly hurt the paranormal, but the way we use it sometimes does. K2 meters came out several years ago. I've taken and helped teach that class countless times, and I can safely say that 16 years. You gotta tell me more. No, it does have something to do with it. You're wrong, and no, I can't tell you more. That's a lot of prizes. That has to be hard. Yeah, I've talked about it during the class. And we had that discussion last week, I think. Someone said, it may have been the week before, but someone said that they went through the class syllabus and they didn't see anything about that. I said, I've talked about it during the class as one of the examples. And I've definitely talked about it on the show. We've had a whole conversation about it several times on the show. So it does come up quite a bit. But no, I can't tell you more. Unless no one gets it until next month and then they hint. But where are we at? Oh yeah, K2s. When they came out with before K2s, we had electromagnetic field detectors. It was just like these little things. So I'm going to reread it. I told you it's not in the syllabus. But anyway, the K2 meter came out. The EMF detector was kind of a broad piece of equipment. It would detect fluctuation. I can't talk tonight. I did give Corey the clue. 1/6 space. Oh, I don't know if I did or not. It's written up there though. But 1/6 space PPI 1 is how it should go. 1/6 space PPI space 1. I've only given 2 clues, if I'm not mistaken. If I've given more, y'all let me know. Y'all know how my memory is. But yeah, the latest clue, I don't think I did because Corey came in late. He had to walk away for a minute. So yeah, thank you, Katie. Corey, the latest clue. The first clue was that it's been we talked about it during the class, and we talked about it on the show. That's okay, Eric. We understand. You got a lot to do, man. But welcome aboard. And then the next clue after that was 1/6 space. So 1/6 is one thing, space, PPI is one thing, space 1. All right. So like I said, K2 or not K2s, but EMF detectors did their job. Basically, they detected fluctuations in the EMF field, and we were able to use those, and they were a good little gadget to have, but they were too wide. They were too broad, too non-conditioning, basically. What we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to bring that down a little bit, and so someone did. They came up with the K2 meter, and that's what it does. It detects fluctuations in EMFs, or over, above or below in the EMF field, and so electromagnetic fields. So the only problem with the K2 is the wide range of what it would detect. Now, it would still detect it in smaller things. You could use it as a Q&A, but the problem with it is that it was what would do it? Radio, cell phones, TVs, CB radios, clocks, like alarm clocks and clock radios and stuff like that. All this stuff, faulty wiring, stuff like that. All this stuff would no one should ever have to bury their child. Oh my gosh. What did I miss? My arms are definitely jello. You talked about it at camp the first time I went to. Hey, Michelle. Y'all threw me. John, you threw me. I don't know what you meant. But I hope, did someone have to bury a child? I'm so confused. Oh, that was another clue that I gave. Really? Okay. That's another clue. No one should ever have to bury a child. God, you scared me there. I've talked about it during the class and the show on several occasions. And 16 space PPI space 1. I don't remember the one about. I'll have to look at it and see. I have a list, so I'll look at it and see. But I don't remember that one. I do remember that one, and I do see how that plays into it. Okay, yeah, good one. Thank you for reminding me. I did not remember that at all. That must have been like the first one I gave, because I do not remember that at all. You said that was a clue. Yeah, I remember the. I see how that plays into it now. That was the first clue. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was the first one. That's why I forgot about it, because my memory is horrible. But yeah, I do see how that plays into it. So yeah, no one should ever have to bury a child. And then we're going to get off of this. No one should have to ever bury a child. Talked about it during the class and the show. And 16 space PPI space 1. I think you don't know the answer. I think he wants us to find the answer for him, because he gets bonus points somewhere. I do know the answer. Do I need to start throwing more guesses out tonight? Sure, I don't care. You can throw guesses out anytime you want. Anybody can. I want somebody to win it. I want it to be over with. But so the K2 meter is on that negative. It's on the positive side because it's so great. Because what it did was it pinpointed, like John was saying, detect. The K2 was invented for electricians to pinpoint faulty wiring, and so that's what it kind of brought it down to a broader section for us, to where we didn't, or more pinpoint section instead of a broad section. And so it really helped us out a lot with the investigations. But the way we use it is not always great. That's why our team, we don't use the K2 as a sole piece of evidence. We don't do that. Obviously, we use that as, hey, we may need to take a little bit more look over here. we may be able to study this situation right here a little bit more, or a whole lot more, depending on the size of the detection. So K2 is in the good and bad category on that too. I knew whenever I said K2, people were going to be like, oh, how dare you talk about the K2? So, but let's get back to spirit boxes. I don't know if a lot of you use spirit boxes, or if you have ever used a spirit box. We don't use them. Spirit box, basically what it is it's the first one that came out, I think, was the SB7. Am I right there? Somebody help me out. SB7, and then I think the SB11 is out now. But anyway, or SP7 or something like that. I don't know. But what it did is it's basically a little contraption, a little box that has a radio built into it, and it's basically, on the radios, when you hit the scan button and it scans channels for you to see, if there's anything on. And basically what it'll do when you hit scan on your radio is it scans all the frequencies between where you started and where it stops. It scans all the frequencies, and something with a strong signal would pop in. It would stop there. It would catch that signal. Okay, good. We got a good signal. Let's stop here. There's a browse button or search on some radios, to where it does is it just goes through, and as soon as it catches one, it stops. And then after a few seconds, it goes to another one and stops. And then after a few seconds, it goes to the next one, blah, 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 and so on and so on. But and basically that's what the spirit box does too, but it does it in a much faster rate. It does it at about a quarter of a second. It'll stay on a captured signal. It'll stay on that for about a quarter of a second. AM or FM, UHF even, and it'll scan those radio frequencies and just keep scanning and scanning and scanning and scanning and scanning and scanning. Now, people have used this as a Q&A tool and as an EVP capture, and they get results. From what I hear, they get results from those different types of from those different stops at each station or each frequency. They get results because that's what they want to get. Okay, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more with a video or an audio in just a moment. It's audio pareidolia. It's the same as visual pareidolia, like what John said, where we had that face, and everybody, when you look at it, it looked like a face, but whenever you broke it down and found out it wasn't, it was just, it was something else, and it looked like a face. Just like when you look at the moon and see the man in the moon. We all know about the visual pareidolia, but there's also an audio pareidolia, especially whenever it's enhanced or suggested, if you will. And that's where a lot of that spirit box comes in. Give me a second. A little bit of a technical thing here. There we go. Keeps popping up and covering up my... Let me catch up with y'all's. Indian burial ground, soldier, history, hauntings. Did I miss something before that? I don't know what you're saying. Haunt crew. Does the PPI stand for Professional Paranormal Investigators? No, it does not. Good guess, though. SB equals Spirit Box 7 or 11 version of Spirit Box. Yes, 7. There's SB7 and SB11. Yeah. I think it was either SB or SP, something like that. Kind of like iPhone, yeah. Hey, I did come up with a way to build a real spirit box. My design is much better, though. I doubt that. Unless it does away with the radio frequencies, then I'll agree. Carter says, good night, Johnny and CAPI family. His buddy's going to bed. Carter. All right, I think I'm caught up. All right. So, I don't know if there's anyone else out there that remembers this, but there was a thing in the 80s. It was really big in the 70s and 80s, and it was called backward masking. Does anybody know what that is? Raise your hands. Anybody know what backward masking is? Anybody ever heard of backward masking? Give some of y'all time to type into Google. All of you need is spirits are made of. Energy is built a glass box. Stuff an entity or spirit inside box. I want a spirit box. I love Eric to death. He's crazy. I do actually. You do. Oh, you've heard of backward masking. Got you. Stovepipe says that's like when you play Stairway to Heaven backwards and it has a message from Satan. Yeah, that's what a lot of them said, was that it was a satanic message. It's just gibbly gook, if you ask me. But the power of suggestion was a lot of the way it was presented to me, like showing one thing and then another thing very quickly. I briefly remember this. Like showing one thing. Are you talking about backward masking? No, it's not. Backward masking was playing audio backwards. You would record an audio clip and then you would play it backwards, and there were supposed to be messages within that audio clip. But the way it was done for us is I even remember going as part of my youth group, going and watching a movie on the subject of backward maskings in the mid 80s. I think it was like 84, 85, something like that. They used it in visual things as well. Okay. But what they would do is they would take these songs, these little snippets of popular rock songs, usually it was rock songs, and they would play the song for you, the little clip of it. They would play it in its entire, not the entire song, but whatever clip they wanted you to hear, they would play that all the way out, and you would hear it, and then they would play it backwards. And a lot of times what they would do whenever I was in it, I went into it, I mean, when I would go listen to these different lectures on it, is they would play the clip forward and then play it backwards. And everybody's just kind of standing around kind of going, what? I heard Satan, or something like this. Or I heard this, or, I heard you, or something like that, But then what they would do is then they would tell you what the sound was, what they thought it said backwards. And then when they would play it back, everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it's saying. We've ran into this same problem when we're doing EVPs. That's why a lot of times when we do an EVP, and like say I'm listening to an EVP and I hear something and I'm like, oh my gosh, that just said so. Well, I would go to another investigator and say, hey, I need you to listen to this. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll say, I'm not going to tell you what I'm hearing, but you just listen and see what you think. And then they would listen to it and they're like, oh man, I got you. I know what this says. And then a lot of times they would discuss it back and forth and say, yeah, that's exactly what that said. And so because the power of suggestion is really prevalent in audio, especially the way they do it. It was called backwards masking. Dad, I sent you a song with backward masking in it not too long ago. I think like last week. Did you really? I didn't get that. Or I may have gotten. I just didn't know it. I will definitely look at it. Did they play it back at the same speed? Or did they play it back at the same speed as it played before? They would do it at the same speed. Yeah, resend it for me, please. Because that way I don't have to go back and I'll miss it if I go back and look. But yeah, definitely resend it. Like, I can't. Yeah, exactly, John. But they would replay it and then they would play it backwards at the same speed. But then if the people still didn't hear it, they would either slow it down or speed it up, depending on what they wanted to do to hear there. Now, I'm not saying all of it is bogus. I'm just saying a lot of it that I saw was bogus. It wasn't, the power of suggestion is what really did it. I'm going to play something for you guys. I don't know if y'all can hear it over the dogs. I hope you can. Y'all tell me if you can hear this. Tell me if it's loud enough.
Listen out for the satanic message.
Y'all hear that?
Any offers?
All right. You hear just a bunch of gibberish, right? What did anybody hear? Tell me one word that you may have heard. I know you probably didn't hear the message, but what one word did anybody hear? Or could y'all hear that? No one has answered me yet, so I don't know. Yep, that stairway backwards. My said Satan. Yeah, thank you. I forgot to tell you that. I'm supposed to tell you that. Thank you, Stovepipe. That was Stairway to Heaven. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. All right. I heard Satan several times. That's what usually people hear in that one before they're told what it actually says or what they say it says is Satan. And the reason is because you're already thinking about backward masking being a satanic ritual. So that's why you hear that Satan in there. It's not because it says Satan. It's because of that power of suggestion, that audio pareidolia, that we were already thinking, okay, backward masking was a thing they did in the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s to turn good little boys and girls into horrible Satanists and devil worshippers by listening to their favorite song on the radio or on their albums. Sent you the link, Messenger, Dad, if you want to play it. It's creepy sounding and it's pretty good backward masking song. Okay, I'll check it out. You had already put Satan in our heads. Exactly, Eric. So, and not just me. I heard Satan, and that's all I could understand. Exactly, because that's what everybody hears on there. Is they hear Satan several times in that backward masking attempt. And the reason is because you're already thinking satanic, backward masking, devil music, whatever, So you're already thinking that. So that's that power of suggestion, that audio pareidolia. It's already been set in your mind, and that's what we're going to hear. Remember, we've said a million times the whole reason why pareidolia, whether it be visual or audio or whatever, the only reason it exists, excuse me, the only reason, the whole reason that it's there is because our brain has to have an excuse for everything that happens around us. And anything that we can perceive, whether it be audio, visual, whatever, just thoughts or whatever, the brain has to have an excuse for everything there. And that's what it's doing. So now I want you guys to hear this, listen to him talk. And if you guys have any problem hearing this, let me know.
Satan, right? And again, this top-down processing. What's the word you're most likely to hear?
Top-down processing,
messages.
Right.
It's Satan. But according to the websites that believe in this kind of thing, this is the full message. Here's to my sweet Satan, the one whose little path would make me sad, whose power is Satan. He'll give you 666, supposed to be the devil's number. There was a little tool shed, I can explain the tool shed, where he made us suffer, sad Satan. I'm now going to play the same clip again. I promise.
Listen to it again after you've heard that.
Sound completely different. You'll hear the message.
My sweet Satan. Six. All right, did you guys hear it that time? Did that make a difference? Was you able to hear that? Now that once he said it, what it was supposed to say, and has put that in your mind, did it register? Yeah, let me know. No, I'm not telling anybody. I'm sorry. Nobody gets it until someone figures it out. I'm answering an email. I mean, a text, guys. I'm sorry. I only told one person so everybody would know that I was telling the truth. All right, let me see. Let me go to this one. Y'all listen.
I wonder this year for it. Darkness lights my way in search of another soul to come and take my place.
I am so sorry. Okay, here we go. My image on the moon is Satan on the moon instead of the man on the moon. Now, is this the backward? Or is it just a song? All I got was the song, Corey. Oh, the whispering in the background. Okay, we'll start it over. I'm sorry. You wasn't clear.
I'll watch my way.
All right, after the first chorus, listen to the whispering in the background.
I wander this year's forest.
So this isn't backward masking, it's just placement, audio placement.
My way in search of another soul to come and take my place. To come and take my place.
Yeah, cut it off. Okay, but I got what you're saying. It's after that. Can I turn on some more lights? No, I can't. I'm sorry. But when Paramama comes back in, I'll get her to give me a light. I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me that. But yeah, I heard that too. That it's in the background. No, it's back. If you play it in reverse, it's saying. Oh, okay, it is. But you can hear it in the. I don't get it, but after that, I did hear the whispering. I couldn't tell what it was saying because I don't have good hearing, but I did hear the whispering. But if it's also in doing something in. Do you have a? Does it play it in reverse on that clip or not? Because I wouldn't be able to give an example unless it did it in reverse. Yeah, I heard the whispering too, but my hearing is horrible. But y'all get what we're saying, right? And we'll go back to that. But y'all get what we're saying, right? What I'm saying. With that suggestive idea put into your head, after it was played, the first time the only thing you heard was Satan. The second time you heard a whole bunch, right? You heard almost everything that the professor said, right? You heard everything that that he said that the backward masking was saying. And because of that, because of him telling us when we played it back again, we're able to hear that stuff. You know, he gives us 666. He takes us to the woodshed where we're sad and to get the bottom spanked, you know, but out to the woodshed. But so that's where all that comes in. That audio pareidolia comes in. The whispering is backwards. If you play it in reverse, then it's saying someday someone will come along and play the song and finally take my place. Oh, okay. I'm going to definitely have to listen to that and try to get it to where I can get it a little bit more audio on here and to play it a little bit better so we can use that as well. Absolutely. And I'll just get that. Yeah, I could hear the whispering. I could definitely hear it. And if I get a little bit more audio on it and get it like on my head, earphones and everything, I could probably tell a lot more of what it's saying. That's pretty cool. But well, you know what? Let's do this. Because this does bring up that same point. Now that we know, all right, somebody someday will come along and play this song and finally take my place. Listen to it again. After the first chorus.
I wander this year's fall
Sorry. My phone doesn't do good with stuff that's sent. Can you go ask Mom to give? Hey, can you go ask Mom to give you a light? Thank you.
Darkness lights my way. In search of another soul. Come and take my place. To come and take my place.
Okay, when she comes in.
Why is it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I could hear that. And I'm odd. I don't have good hearing, but I could tell what it was saying. Hold on. So there's also a YouTube video made. It's yeah, link it to, don't link it here, but link it to me. Link it to me, and that'll give us a better understanding, hopefully. But that's what I'm saying. That suggestion, the power of suggestions put into your mind to hear that. And that was the same way back whenever in the 80s, whenever they were first going over this stuff a lot with us as kids, they would go over this and they'd say, this is what, rock music is doing to you. This is what it's doing to your mind. And it's going to turn you into devil worshippers and all this stuff. And that's almost as silly as you're going to put your eye out. Right. But we didn't hear any of this stuff in these different videos. We didn't hear this message that came across. All we would hear is, and sometimes we would hear stuff like kill or death or murder or Satan, because we're thinking that kind of thing in our mind because we know what this is. We've already been told what this is. We just wasn't told what the message was, but we knew the point of the whole thing. So what it did is it showed us what they did was they played the music for us forward. And then they played it for us backwards. Now, I didn't have that strip to play for you forward because that specific video that I was using isn't, it doesn't have the song forward that Led Zeppelin did forward. It didn't have that. What it had was the backwards part and then another part of the backwards part where you've already been told what it says. And so that's what they would do to us too, is they would play this stuff and we would hear it. And it just sounded like, like I said, every now and then you would hear, like you guys did, you'd hear Satan, you'd hear murder, kill, death, dark. There was one song that they did by Prince that said something about the Grim Reaper. I mean, it was just all kinds of stuff. And so then they would tell us what the message was. And they would play the song again. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it said. And then, of course, everybody went home and ruined their 45s because we were going backwards, scratching the heck out of our records and destroying them. And then we were just getting mad because we had skips in our albums. The guys that made this is Rhett and Wink. They took inspiration from the 80s from when that was big for the short horror film they made. Okay, cool. The Beatles song Revolution 9, you can play it backwards and it supposedly says Paul is dead. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on there that are a whole bunch of different groups and stuff like that. Now, some groups did put hidden messages in their songs after that became popular because it was another way to get popular and because they were talking about this and the bad was good then. So everybody was like trying to do what they could to get that notoriety, right? So, but y'all get the idea, right, of how that spirit box works. That's the reason why I wanted to play you guys that and show you that, was to show you with the power of suggestion, you can get anything out of this. A lot of the spirit boxes, the sounds that it makes when they're asking questions and stuff is gibberish. But then whenever you're thinking about, like, say, can you tell me your name? And you already know that the person that died there's name is Frank. So you're going to hear Frank whenever they say thank or when they say hey. It's gerbled up because of the frequency change. So that's the whole point that I'm making. Hold on, I'm trying to find my spot. But the whole point of it is how we view the paranormal today, as opposed to the way we used to view it because of the technology. Not only the technology, but the advancement of acceptance too. Um, Back whenever I was young, very young into the paranormal, you barely could talk to family members about the paranormal, much less, to friends and coworkers and schoolmates and ministers. My goodness, I would have never thought about talking to a minister about the paranormal. But a few years ago, we had a minister approach the team that wanted us to come and do his church. Now we didn't do the church because the elders found out about it and said that if he let us in, I've told y'all that story. If he let us in to come and do the investigation, they'd fire him. He would never work in the Presbyterian church again. So the acceptance has also grown with the technology because of the popularity has gone up so much because of television shows and stuff like that. Like I said last week, the television shows that I'm very much against, y'all know that. I think a lot of them that's all they want to do is lie and stuff, and that's what they wanted us to do, was be open to destroying our integrity, and I just wasn't up to doing that. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not why I'm in this. But they're still entertainment. I don't fault anybody for watching them, and I've watched them before. It's entertaining. But one of the good things they did do is they brought up that awareness to the paranormal, to where people no longer looked at this word as something horrible, as something satanic, or that you're a devil worshiper just because you look for ghosts and document findings. And not only did the common Joe, or should I say the common Johnny, want to step into the paranormal and research it and find out all I could do about it, but also the scientific world had to do the exact same thing. Now, of course, the scientific world, whenever they stepped into it, they called it something else. They called parapsychology. They called it and I'm going to mess this up, anomalistic psychology. They don't call it paranormal or parapsychology. They call it anomalistic psychology, and that's got a huge definition. I'll go over a little bit of it. Anomalistic parapsychology, or anomalistic psychology, may be defined as the study of extraordinary phenomenon of behavior and experience, including but not limited to those which are often labeled paranormal. It is directed towards understanding. I can't read my writing. I'm sorry. Directed towards understanding bizarre experiences that many people have without assuming a priori that there is anything to do with paranormal. Let me just say that without reading it, because I can't read that writing because I can't see it. Basically, what it is it's not the study of the paranormal, because most of the people in anomalistic, I'm saying it right now, anomalistic psychology, most of those people, they don't study the paranormal like, say, a paranormalist would, like myself would. What they do is they study the abnormalities of this stuff. What they do is they look at, all right, let's take this for an example. Let's just throw one out, because they did a study of this in, I believe it was 2012 in Great Britain. They did a couple of studies. They did psychic readings, and they did dowsing rods. Y'all know how I feel about dowsing rods, of course. I know you do. But the study on the dowsing rods were really funny, because of the way they did it. In energies of reason, dowsing rod. They did a test. They took 10 people, and that claimed to be dowsers. And they said that they could find. They said, what is the basic function that you can do? What is just the easiest thing in the world that you can do by dowsing, whether it be paranormal or whatever? What is the easiest thing that you can do? And they said, well, what did they say? Who can tell me what they said? What is the number one thing they say they can do with dowsing rods that I don't personally believe? Some of y'all may, but it's never been proven. But does anybody know? Did everybody leave because I couldn't read? I should have grabbed my glasses, but I can see this because I wrote it big. Thank you, Stovepipe. Find water. Exactly. That's the number one thing they said that they could do was find water. And what they did was they did a double-blind trial. Here's how they did it. First, they took 2 containers, one containing sand and one containing water, and they put them on the ground. Just 2 containers, glass see-through containers, set one on this side, one on this side, about 4 feet apart, sand, water. And they told the dowsers, they said, go there, find the water, find the sand. So, of course, they walk over there with their dowsing rods, and they walk over, and, of course, they'd go over the water, and the dowsing rods would, cross, right? They would cross just like that. And then they would go over to the sand, and they would stay just like this. They wouldn't move. They wouldn't cross. And so they said, okay, what they wanted to do was get a controlled setting. All right. So they wanted to say, okay, that's good. This is what's going to happen when you're over water. They're going to cross. And when you're not over water, they're just going to stay out like that. And they said, okay, cool. So then what they did was they said, we want to be able to say this is definitely controlled and it's not, any trickery here. So then what they did was they took 2 containers and they put the sand in one container and the water in another container, and then they closed the lids. Now, the 10 participants still knew which one was water and which one was sand because they saw them put them in there. So they went over to the sand, nothing happens. They go over to the water, zoom, the rods cross, right? So, okay, they go. Not only do we have we know that they cross over water when we're standing over the water, but we also know that they also cross over water whenever the water is contained into a container, right? So we got all this. We know that's there. So now what they did was they took 16 containers and put them in 4 rows of 4. One container had water in it, and all the rest of them had sand. So they took 10 people, and they said, now, just going to you can't see that. Well, she took it away. Can you see it now? You said you couldn't see the comments, but then you took it away. Excuse me. Is anyone else having trouble seeing comments or me? Oh, I don't want to move that because we're going to go back to that. Backward masking. Yeah, it said that she couldn't see, but then I didn't see anything after that because it went message removed, retracted. Did you take that away, Katie, or did someone else, or did the system? I didn't think there was that much of a lag. Excuse me. I'm sorry to stop right in the middle of it, guys, but I don't want her not to be able to see. I don't want anybody not to be able to see the comments. What did she might not can see your comment, but she can hear me, I hope. Can you hear me, Katie? Are you still with us? My counter just went down to 2. Did everybody leave? If you're here right now, say hi. you're still on right now, say hi. I see the comments too. Okay, yeah, it's just my counter's off because everybody's still here. Because Katie's here, John here, Stovepipe here, Eric's here. Yeah, and it's Margot. Are you still here? Beth, Corey. How high? Yeah, it says 3 now. Well, now it says 4. I don't know. Let's just continue. Everybody's good now, right? Everybody can see it. I'm sorry that happened, Katie. It's not on our end. Michelle's still here. Okay, cool. All right. Now what they did was they took all of these little jars of sand and they put them in 15 of these containers, and one of the container had water in it. So they told them again, go over all the containers as many times as you like. There's no time limit. You have all day if you want to. Figure out where the water is. 2 of the 10 people found the water one time, which is what you would expect by chance. No one found the water twice. And 8 of the participants never found the water, as many times as they did. I think they did it 15 or 16 times, and they never found the water. So, and then, of course, all of them said that either the test was wrong. One guy said it was God playing with him because he had a sense of humor. One girl said that they should have built a platform that she could walk over it, which she was over it. So I don't know why that would have made any difference. But anyway, y'all know how that goes. If you believe something like that, then you're going to keep going and keep believing it. I can hear and see now. I am a little bit behind on the video, but still here and watching. I'm sorry, Katie. I don't know what's going on. And so they were able to debunk that. They were able to say, okay, no, it's by chance at best that this would find this. And a cognitive bias on that would be on not just that, but on the psychic readings, which on the psychic readings they did. Can't remember how many. Oh, it's 5. They did 5 sitters. All of them were female, aged 18 to 30, and they called them sitters because all they did was sit. They sit in a chair. There's a barrier between them and the reader, the psychic reader. They couldn't see the subjects. The psychics couldn't see the subject, and they said that they were fine with that. That was the way they'd prefer it. It was 2 sets of 5 readings. Each of the 5 had to do 2 readings, with the 2 different psychics. The psychics and these are famous psychics in Great Britain, were Kim Whitten and Patricia Rett. Kim Whitten and Patricia Rett, R-E-T-T. But they each participant of the 5 girls, and so each of the sitters got 2 readings. And what their job was, the sitters had to choose one of the readings that came the closest to their situation, to them. And they used code reading, and you could tell they were using code reading. Y'all can look this up. Look it up. It's an experiment. I can't remember the name of the school that did it, but it's look up the Kim Whitten or Patricia Rett studies. I think I did write that down, but I don't know. Yeah, but then look up those 2, Kim Whitten and Patricia Rett. look those up, and then you'll see the test that they did. But Kim Witten, after she did all 5 participants, they decided, each one of them looked at their papers and said, does this come anywhere close to you or your experiences in any way? And then they did the other 5 with Patricia Rett. And they said, does any of these come close to you? Kim Witten actually got 1 out of the 5, which you would expect in, matter of chance. And Patricia Rett got 0 out of 5. And the settings were done on their standards. You would be impressed with 4 out of 5. That would have been really impressive. But to pass, they had to get 5 out of 5 because they said they were psychic. So to pass, they had to get 5 out of 5. But 4 out of 5 would have been impressive. To me, 3 out of 5 would have been pretty daggone impressive. But with 1 out of 5 being a matter of chance. So why did they do that? Why did scientists who look at the paranormal as a pseudoscience, why did they go and do these studies? Why did they form the anomalistic psychology? Why would they go and form the anomalistic psychology study if they don't believe in any of this stuff? Well, most of the professors that are involved in the AP will tell you that they don't believe in anything, hardly anything that they're studying, especially the psychics and stuff like that. With a small handful of them believing in afterlife and spirits, but the majority not believing in that, but still studying it. Why would they do that? Well, because of that change in attitude that's happened over the last 25 to 50 years. Remember that technology is starting to catch up. It hasn't caught up. It's not even close, but it's starting to get better, right? We've got better equipment. We still don't have that equipment to detect an anomaly or detect an entity, but we do have the equipment to detect their effects on our environment, right? And so that, coupled with the television shows and the media interest and stuff like that, has brought that awareness up. So now probably 50% of the population believe in the paranormal. So why would a psychology scientist want to study the paranormal that they don't know? Well, they can learn a lot about human behavior through these studies. So, and I completely understand that. As a matter of fact, I welcome it. If we're in a mindset that the paranormal exists, and let's say it doesn't exist. Let's say that the paranormal does not exist, that there's no such thing as the paranormal as a broad across the board thing. There's no UFOs, there's no Yetis, there's no ghosts, there's no psychics, there's no ESP, there's none of that stuff. None of that stuff exists. None of the paranormal ever is anything. It's just much imaginations and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of those scientists are at, because of the way technology has affected the paranormal. These people's minds are starting to turn. I had that minister at the Presbyterian Church that says, "Hey, I really want you guys to come in. I wouldn't have done this 10 years ago, but now I really like you guys to come in because I start seeing stuff and I'm hearing stuff and it's creeping me out. And I want you guys to come in." And then, of course, we didn't get to because of the elders, but he would have never asked that in 20 years prior. There's no way he would even thought about doing that. That interest, that reasoning, that change of heart, change of mind, open eyes, open heart, open-minded skepticism has changed the way a lot of people think about the psyche. And so that's why a lot of these scientists, that's why the anomalistic psychology was invented, the whole study of everything, and why they're looking into it, even though they don't believe in it, because they can learn so much about the human psyche through these. And like I said, I welcome it. Bring it on. There's nothing that we can't not learn from that, right? Even as as a parapsychologist or just a paranormalist, as an investigator, you're wanting to learn as much as you can about the paranormal. Well, psychologists are the same way. They want to learn as much as they can about the human function, the human brain, the human existence. Sorry, my mouth's getting dry. So, all right, cool. Yes, we can do that. Just text me tomorrow, and I'll figure it out. We can figure it out together. Um, but what I want you guys to take away with this from this is not only the technology changing, but because of that technology changing and advancing, so are we. We're looking more into it. That's why I went all into uh, anomalous psychology. That's why I went into their studies in the dowsing and their studies in spirit boxes and K2s and um, uh, psychic readings and stuff like that. None of that stuff and the backward masking and all that stuff is none of that stuff would have been studied in any way had they not had the open-mindedness caught up as well because of the technology boost. So technology has done a lot of great things for the paranormal. It really has. And even these shows that that I laugh at, a lot of us laugh at. Dude, run! Zach Baggins is a demon. We all laugh about that stuff, and it's entertainment and it's funny and that's great and that's fine. They have hurt us a lot because of that, because they give a bad name and a bad look, and we're still that whimsical dude run kind of stuff, and that's why we work so hard to do what we do, to show that the real paranormal is out there and it's not something to be afraid of or misjudged or just discounted or anything like that, and not something to be misunderstood, because and that's why we do what we do. So what I want you guys to do is I didn't go into a couple of things. I want you guys to go into, I'll give you homework every now and then, and this series is no different. I can hear and see now. I am a little bit okay. I was hoping YouTube didn't delete your message. Yeah, me too. Have you ever experienced a possession? In a sense, but they're not very common. But in a sense, I have. Yeah, it's like watching a movie for October with a Navy diver, right? Exactly. Or it's like watching ER with a doctor. But I want you guys to go into and remember the reason why you guys are saying to yourself, why are we talking about all this when we're supposed to be talking about technology and the advancement, blah, blah. It all ties in at the end. I promise you. But you'll get it. The understanding on the different practices that we do, the different forms of equipment, how technology has changed not only the awareness and the open-mindedness to the paranormal, but the evidence collection. Huge change in evidence collection, which is what we're going to go with. Our main subject will be next week, but I still have a couple other things that I want to go over with you guys on, as far as how we differ now than what we used to, how we used to look at the paranormal on how we do now. Used to be we would say an EVP was an EVP no matter what. Used to be we would say a dowsing rod could find water. Used to be we would say that a psychic is a psychic. Used to be we would say sleep paralysis is paranormal, when we now know that it is most likely not. All right, we're going to go into that a little bit more. So that's your homework for this week, is kind of do some research on sleep paralysis. We're going to go into that and see how we look at how the paranormal world now views sleep paralysis as opposed to how it used to before our mindset changed. All right, so but we're really going to delve really, really hard into the sleep paralysis, because that's a really interesting subject on this, on the ways our attitude and knowledge has changed over the last 25 to 50 years. So definitely look into sleep paralysis, get your research done on that. Also, and then we're going to go into evidence collection, how that's changed. And not only evidence collection, but evidence storage, how we've changed on as far as how technology has allowed us to change that as well. So that'll give you something to do for next week, till next week. And you guys also look up that test, the psychic reading test with Kim Witten and Patricia Rett, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, how ultimately sad that was. And you'll see one of the reasons why I'm kind of hard on psychics. But I'm not hard on psychics because, like I said, I don't say that they don't exist. Just like David Ross doesn't say that paranormal doesn't exist. He just says anomalistic psychology is the study of why it doesn't exist. All right. So, of course, he's going to study that. So, and I'm glad they do, like I said. So, we're going to find out how that changes our attitude towards the paranormal, how the advancement of technology has changed our attitude, the way we handle it, and how we explain different things and all that stuff. So, don't miss next week. Definitely be here 9 p.m. Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will pick right back up where we left off, which is at psychics. We already talked about a little bit of psychics. We're going to go back into that as well. We're also going to go back into the suggestive bias, because I want to really get into that masking thing, because it really shows how technology has changed us and how we viewed it. Because back in the day, whenever I saw that, it scared the hell out of me. Now I see it and it's like funny, so I'm going to get that audio that Corey sent. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I want to get that geared up on here so I can play it real time instead of over another device. And know that I know how to do that. And we're going to get really in depth in that as well. So we haven't forgot about that. But really look into sleep paralysis, get what you can about that. No, I haven't, John. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into that. Have you seen the videos of someone capturing an entity during a sleep study on CCTV? No, I did not see that. I have to check that out because I've been through a couple of sleep studies. So that's pretty cool. I'll check that out. Get a link for it if you would and send it to me. And maybe we can use it on here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Super excited about this. Remember, I do still have, I said 2, but now I think it's only going to be 1 because I can't get in touch with the other guy. But I do have a guest coming up. Maybe not this coming show, but the show after. It's going to tie everything into it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all keep your notes, because remember what I said. Whenever he does come, I want you guys to be baby. I want you guys to be able to ask questions and really blow his mind on your knowledge of the paranormal and everything. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for making another show for us. I'm going to keep doing this as long as you keep coming back. I'll be doing it, even if it's just one person. I love you guys so much. I want you to do me a huge favor this week. I don't care if it's a friend, family member, or someone you meet on the street. Make somebody smile, because that's exactly what we need more of. We love you guys. We want you to have a paranormal week. Thank you. Good night.